Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Becoming Rich podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Monica. I'm so grateful to be here. I am missing Chulo. I got in trouble from management because we're not allowed dogs up here. You guys would not believe what I had just experienced. I tried recording this episode. This is the fourth time. I'm trying to make a freaking episode. 4 times. The first time that it happened, I did it yesterday. I tried recording an episode, and halfway through, it cut out, and it started recording from my microphone to my computer laptop. So the audio was just so bad. So the next day, I was like, okay, I'm going to record again. So I sit down, I record another video. I finished the entire thing. I'm so happy and proud of it because I feel like maybe I did even better because my flow was even better. So then I finish and I look it up, the whole audio, I literally recorded maybe 40 seconds of it. So then I go to try again. I'm like, I was busy too because I had a client and then I had a meeting with my manufacturer. So I'm like, okay, let's just try it one more time. And I go to record and I'm like recording it. Everything looks good. I'm happy. And I decide also, I'm like, I'm going to make shorter episodes because maybe in those episodes, because I was trying to do a episode about Gisette Como, and the episode, there's just so much information that I just felt like I was talking for years and years. And so I was like, you know what, maybe that's a little too much. Maybe I need to break it down into like more of a series. I think that could be fun because the themes that we're talking about, there's so much depth to every single part of my journey that I do want to get deep into. So I decided I would do it that way. I would do a mini series, which I'm still going to end up doing. Okay. That's what this is. This is going to be a mini series. And then I'm sitting here, management comes down, tells me I might not be able to record in here. And then, actually it was a good thing because then I stopped recording and I went to go look at my episode and the audio clipped out. So this is a very big message. Here is what this episode is going to be about. We have no control over anything in our lives. Nothing. No control whatsoever. All we can do is trust that we are going to get ourselves through whatever life throws at us and trust that the universe has our back and best plan already out for us. They know exactly what you need to do and where you need to be in order to be closer to becoming your highest self. So sometimes you might ask for something like, I really want $1 million. Well, is the universe just going to hand you $1 million? They would love to. But the way that they're going to do it is by setting up challenges in your life so that you'll be able to not only receive the $1 million, but be able to sustain it. Be the version of you that actually can keep $1 million. So maybe that might be helping you to grow as a business owner, to have you more built to sustain $1 million. Like, hear about the stories of these lottery winners. They'll make a shit ton of money, but then they lose it. They lose all of it because they have no idea how to manage their money properly. They don't know what it is to keep money. And it's also all tied around their beliefs around money. So they might have beliefs that they're not worthy of money. So subconsciously, they're going to spend all of it, every penny of it. So they don't have anymore because it's actually more comfortable for them to not have money, which doesn't even make any sense. But the thing is like our chaos, if that's our pattern, our entire lives, if that's what we were born into, if we were born into chaos, it's like children that have been abused in any kind of way, emotional or physical. They're more likely to end up in relationships where they're being abused because subconsciously that's comfortable to them and that's what they know. Even though consciously they don't want to be in a partnership that's abusive. No one does. But you don't realize it's your subconscious that's running your entire reality. Everything that's going on in your inner world is reflecting on your outer world. So I don't know what that rampage was all about. I'm blank, honestly, at this point. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. So we're gonna have a chill, relax episode. That's what the vibes are. I'm sad that Chulo's not here, to be honest. And I'm using a new platform to record my audio. So if anyone has any recommendations, let me know what they use, because the one that I was using, obviously, I can't trust it. I'm too scared. So hopefully this one works. That would be great if this one worked. I want to start talking about my journey with becoming Gisette Como. Gisette Como is going to be my new clothing brand. This, to me, is my everything. This is my destiny. This is a part of my destiny, because I think part of everyone's destiny is just becoming more you and finding you in this lifetime and creating whatever it is. My creation that I feel like is implanted in my soul, my heart to do on this lifetime is to transform and help and create clothing and yapping. Content, yapping, clothing, transformation, soul transformations, and helping people. That's what I feel like is my thing. Saving the planet. Saving the planet as best as I can with yapping. Through yapping. That's what I feel like my destiny is. Every single one of us has a natural skill, a natural hobby, a natural pull towards doing something in particular. And that normally is going to be your soul's purpose. What you tend to love, what brings you the most joy out of life, is what you should be doing. And there's so many things that are holding us back from our actual purpose and what we're supposed to be doing. And there's so many layers to it. I think that right now in society, we have a system built to keep people poor, keep people busy working in order to make money. And their time is being put with businesses that are draining all of their energy and maybe keeps them miserable, when we should be out here creating and living out our fullest potential. And the only reason that's stopping us is all these fear-based conditions. I just really want to get an episode out, and I feel like I'm rambling at this point. You know what? I think this episode just needs to be about what I just experienced, if I'm being completely honest. I wanted to give you an episode that was about my business, and I will. And I want to show up in the energy that it deserves. The energy that I was putting in when I was like first coming in on this, on the third time that I started. Third time or the fourth time? Is this the fourth time? I think this is the fourth time. So when I came in on the third time trying to record this podcast, I feel like my energy was a lot lower, because the third time? Man, I can't even keep track with how many times I've been recording this. But when I was recording it, my energy was just a lot lower. I don't want to be coming on here with low energy, but at the same time, I really want to be completely authentic with my audience. I don't want to be coming on, putting on a fake vibe and, hey guys, like blah, 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 if that's not how I'm actually naturally feeling. And it feels off to me right now to say the same thing I just said 4 times in a row. Like, I think I need to save that for another day. I'm going to have to just really talk about what I'm experiencing right now in the present moment. And I think that that's also really important to share these parts of me, because I think that these are things that are really relatable. When we try to stop ourselves from feeling the natural emotions that we're feeling or whatever we're actually experiencing, we're going against what we naturally want to do and forcing ourselves. It's like toxic positivity. It's like, no, be this way. You need to act this way and be positive and be happy. And the thing is there's a spectrum of emotions and a spectrum of experiences that we're going to be going through. And doesn't mean that if you're feeling and experiencing pain or confusion, frustration, it doesn't mean that you're off track. It doesn't mean that something is wrong. And I think that that's what I started to do, because I also don't believe in coincidences, and I don't believe that anything happens without a reason and a purpose. So I was trying to dig to figure out what the reason, the purpose is that this podcast was not uploading for me. Why was it not working? I made really, really juicy content. I thought it was so good. And I made 4 of them. So why was it not working? And I was trying to figure out the reasons. And there could be millions of reasons. There could be reasons that maybe this is testing me to show me, am I really serious? Am I really dedicated to this? Do I care that much about making this podcast? What does this podcast even mean to me? Why am I doing it? All of those questions I'm asking myself while I'm doing this. Am I doing it because I feel obligated, because I need to hold myself accountable and I need to do something, and if I don't do it, I'm going to fail? Are those the reasonings that I'm doing it? Or is it coming out of joy? Am I doing it because I really, truly enjoy it? And the truth is, I really do enjoy it. I really, really do enjoy sitting here and talking. And also, if that is the truth, if I actually love and enjoy recording podcasts, then really what's the harm in recording 5 times, 10 times? What would be the difference? I think the frustrations when things aren't going the way that you initially want to is just letting go of that control over what you expected it to be. See how juicy and deep this gets? Because the expectations that I have over how this podcast episode was going to be, in my head, I thought this was going to be, oh man, I put a lot of expectations on it. I really, really did. If I'm being completely honest, man, this is deep. I put so many expectations on it subconsciously because, number one, this is the 8th episode, and 8 has been really significant for me. The number 818 has been very significant in the last few months. And I've tied 818 around 2025. I told myself 818 is going to be my angel number for this year because I keep seeing it everywhere. And what it means is it signifies like abundance, prosperity, going after your purpose, something like that. 8 is a financial abundance and balance. And then 1 represents new beginnings and something else. And I was like, period. That's what I'm on. And the fact that I'm doing an episode 8 podcast, it has to be about Gisette Como and announcing it. It has to be. In my head, I think a lot of us deal with like perfectionism. Things have to be perfect. And for a moment, I was not going to have this studio. I had a thought that I was not going to be able to record right here. And I was going to maybe have to record in my podcast. And the reason, record in my home. And the reason that I don't want to record in my home is because I like the separateness. I like that I have like a professional studio. And I like the cohesiveness of all my episodes. But in that moment, does it really matter? Do all those things matter? We put so much importance on so many of these like details, and it has to be this way. It has to look this way. It has to feel this way. Why? But what if it doesn't? Then what? What are we actually trying to gain from the thing that we're doing? At the end of the day, what we're doing is just fun, and that's what it should be. Just fun and just play. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing this for fun and I'm doing this for play. As soon as I start getting frustrated that it's not working out and this and this and that, it's no longer play. Now I'm putting rules on how this needs to flow and how this needs to happen and what the episode needs to be about. That's not even being authentic. it's important to have a plan, and I do enjoy sitting here with a plan and a semi script of what I'm going to be talking about, because it keeps me organized, and I do like being organized, and I think it's important as a business owner to be organized and to have deadlines of when you want to get things done. But you can only do that so much. You're still going to have to go with the flow of things. Wow, this really teaches me a lot. And I hope this is teaching you a lot too. And the more that I'm showing up and the more that I'm practicing and I'm really putting myself out in front of this camera and I was going to say failing, but I keep having challenges come at me throughout this process. The more I'm going to grow, the more I'm going to learn, not only when it comes to my content creation and my business, but in my life in general, because this all aligns and can make sense for everything in our lives. Everything. It's like me wanting a relationship so bad all of my 20s and putting these timelines and deadlines of when it had to happen. It has to happen this way. It needs to look this way. And if it doesn't, what's the point? I'm over. Da, da, da. Did I really come here with this like set of rule books of how my life needs to be? I don't know what my life is going to look like. I don't. I can journal and envision what I want and plan as much as I want, but it's going to end up being exactly what it needs to be, and it's going to flow the way that it needs to. And it's always going to be a million times better than I can even plan. So what is even the point? It's more of like loosely planning, like feeling really good about where you want your life to go and working your way to that vision, having an ultimate vision, but still keeping yourself open to the possibilities and opportunities that can come your way. Because you could be so dead set on one thing, how one thing needs to be, but what if you miss an opportunity because you were so focused on that one thing that you wanted? You actually got a greater opportunity that would have actually gotten you past that vision what you wanted, light years away, and growth that you can't even write down on your paper because that dream would have been too unrealistic. But you didn't take that on that opportunity because you were so dead set with, no, it has to happen this way. Can you imagine if you missed out on opportunities because of that? You just have to be open. You just have to be open to everything. Yeah. And I feel like maybe that's what the lesson is today. And listen, if this doesn't end up working, if I end up, because this is a new place that I'm recording my episode, if this doesn't end up recording properly, I'm going to pack it all up and I'm going to watch Desperate Housewives tonight and I'm going to be happy. And that's going to be it. We're going to call it a day. Tomorrow I'll get to see my niece and we're going to play. Tomorrow I'm going to take her to the pool and we're going to swim and have so much fun. And that's it. I don't need to worry because the universe supports me regardless. And maybe this is also just confirming me on my beliefs and confirming me in what I'm preaching. The thing is like everything that I do talk about, it's things that I'm continuously learning. But my word of this year, oh yeah, by the way, Happy New Year. See, I recorded this so many times that I forgot that in my intro, the first video, maybe even in the second, I don't remember, I made a whole intro being like, Happy New Year's, guys, because this is the first episode back in 2025. I mean, I did post my last episode 2025, but I recorded it in 2024, so it doesn't count. This is our 2025 episode, first episode. And oh my God, this is actually so funny. My word of the year is authenticity. And what I meant with that word was that I wanted to show up completely authentic within everything that I do. Not just me, myself, in my own life and showing up authentically in all my relationships, but in my businesses, in the way that I'm showing up on camera, in the way that I'm going after things. So me going after Gisette Como, that is me following my authenticity. I know that that is my sole purpose, and I know that that's what I'm meant to do. I have no idea what the plan is. I don't know anything. All I know is that's what I'm meant to do, and I'm just going to go for it. All in, baby. That is a part of it. Me being on this podcast and showing up without anything planned at this point and just telling you the whole process and things that just happened and letting this just flow to be exactly what it's meant to be. That's what this is going to be. And I'm going to let it happen this way and not feel bad about it. This is me showing up authentic. And I kind of love that. And also me on TikTok, I'm getting a lot better with like showing up and yip yapping the way that I want. Yeah, see how this all aligns? And I also want to make shorter episodes. So I think this all works out. What the world is craving right now is authenticity. It's really craving realness. And I think that also means showing up in our down phases, in our low energy. I think that that can be okay. And I think that that forms relatability and connection with other people that can understand where you're coming from. Everything doesn't need to be perfect and cookie cutter. And I think that's maybe a little bit of what I was doing and trying to create, which I do love a nice aesthetic vision of things. And I do still want my podcast to be a certain way. And I think when you're creating something in the form of art, my brand and everything that I do, I want it to reflect my life. I want it to be so real to me and my journey, everything that I'm creating, not just my clothes, but even this TikTok, even this podcast. This to me is still a visual journal. It's a part of me that I'm going to have forever to really be able to see, and my entire journey and what my thought process was like at this period of time. And I'm going to be able to see where I'm at in, future years. But if I'm putting up a wall and I'm acting out of character, or I'm only coming on here when I'm in really, really high spirits, I do believe that what you put out is what you're going to get back. So I don't want to be showing up in a certain kind of energy if I'm going to be feeling resentful or feeling just over it and having bad feelings tied around me having to create a podcast. I don't want to do it in that sense. I can feel exhausted and frustrated over the whole situation, but still enjoy the process of me talking and letting it out and explaining the whole journey. What I'm actually putting into this now is authenticity and is realness. And that is what is going to connect with an audience. So this actually goes deeper. If you're a content creator, if you're a business owner, if you're anyone that has your own business, the more real you are, the more you put into your business, the more people are going to connect with it. And I know that, but there's still parts of me, obviously, that maybe are fearing putting out every single aspect of me, really putting myself on the table, because it's very vulnerable to put yourself out there and to show any kind of mistakes or failures. And honestly, I might even add in a bunch of those clips. I think it might be hilarious. And that might just be my 8th episode, is literally the fact that I actually can't believe, I actually deleted, I actually think I deleted some of the episodes because I was trying to make space and I was just like, I'm over this. I was deleting things. But it's kind of hilarious. The way that this all went down is kind of hysterical. This is just all a part of it. This is all a part of the process. And there's no use in shaming myself and feeling embarrassed or feeling frustrated. Obviously I can feel frustrated, but this is just all a part of it. And I think when I was talking about when I start talking about my journey with my clothing line, when I was looking back at those older versions of me and I was feeling these icky feelings about her, you know, I needed her. I needed those old versions of me to become who I am today. And I know that this literally had just happened today and yesterday, but those are still old versions of me that I don't need to judge. She's just up here just trying her best, and she wanted to come out with like a fresh, excited face, and eventually I just got exhausted. And so now we're here at the last episode, really hoping that it works out. And if it doesn't, then I trust that it's not meant to right now, and I need to take a little break, and maybe I need to focus my energy somewhere else, and maybe a different part of my business needs my energy right now. Maybe that's what it's showing me. I don't know. I think a part of being authentic is just showing up at exactly where you're at in this moment. Because the way that I'm feeling right now and the things that I feel like I'm learning from this lesson could be different tomorrow. Because I might meditate on this and have a clear mind and see this a little bit differently from a different lens. And fine, that's what's going to happen. But this is all human and this is all relatable too. And I think that all of this is necessary at the same time. It doesn't mean that, oh, maybe I shouldn't share this and I should just wait and process it first. It's all a part of it. It's all a part of the journey that we're all experiencing and going through it. I don't want to sit here as a teacher. I'm not here to teach you. I'm here to inspire and to be a reflection of you. Whether it's triggering, whether it's your higher version, or maybe it's a past version. Whatever version of you I am, I'm here to be that for you as an example to help you on your journey. That's all that it is. Wow. That was deep. You know what I mean? When you understand that each one of us, we are all one. We are all coming from the same source. And we're all here to help each other go through this journey right now. Go through life, go through the hardships. So I really, really value the community that I'm building through this. And I really hope that this resonates with a lot of people. I hope that this was helpful. And I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. I can't wait to talk to you soon. Good night.